All right, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making a video on order blocks and changing the state of delivery, and I'm going to make them into one thing, kind of like the last time, because I think they are sort of the same thing in a way or another, but there are some clear differences that I will point out. But this video should be pretty good and will line up soon in the future to make that entire strategy series come together. So let's just talk about how I look at changing the state of delivery and also order blocks. So here are two very, very basic examples. Here we have a bullish one, right? We just have a kind of rejection candle, and then instantly we are flipping to the upside with displacement. That is how you know you have a good order block, and then this would be your change in the state because we close up above a body of, a pretty prominent bearish candle. So normally a change in the state of delivery is going to be a series of down close candles, and then we will close above one, and then your change in the state would be something like this, and then we would retrace down into it. And it's pretty much the same idea with order blocks as well. So I'm going to put them into one thing because they make sense together. So you can think of this as CISD and OB, minus or plus, depending on bullish or bearish. So this one is going to be the one that should bring us lower, bang, bang. And then obviously bullish, bang, bang. All right, now that we got that basic shit out of the way, I'm going to show you what it would look like on the chart and how you'd use that to your advantage, how you're going to protect your stop loss with this, and more importantly, how you can take a better trade, reducing your risk of getting stopped out. So let's look at an order block. I'm going to clear all these off the chart. For an order block, obviously, you can find tons of candles like this, right? You can find like this right here. This would be an order block, but do we really have a lot of displacement? Not really. So you don't want to trust those holding all the time. Something that would be high quality is something like this, right? So kind of the example I showed you, bam, we have our order block. I mark it from the bodies, but a lot of people do it like this too, from the wick. But bam, we have our order block, and then we end up closing above a series of down close candles, creating the change of the state. So again, some people, they call the change in the state this. I call it the series of down close candles. And obviously, if you zoom in, say to the 3-minute, that will just be one candle. So that's why I call CISD and order block kind of the same thing. So there you go. There's an order block. This is very high quality, obviously, because we kind of just pumped from there. So, retracing down into this point, you could probably expect some sort of reaction. All right, perfect. Now that we have that bullish example out of the way, let's go into a bearish example of an order block. Find a good example. I'll be on let's do an hourly. Here's a good example right here. We have this little bullish candle, and then instantly from that point, we dump hella. So this is a very good order block. Obviously, if I scaled out a little more, it would appear as one bullish candle, and then this little bearish candle would be out of the way. But either way, this is still pretty high quality because, as you can see, we pretty much respected it the whole time and then ended up moving lower from it. So that is how you mark that out. You can mark it from the body like I do. Obviously, you can also mark it from the wicks up. I know TJR likes to do that. So this also works the same way. And then some people just mark like a line like this, OB minus. What would be the difference from the order block and the change in the state of delivery? So I'll show you that right now. A change in the state for me is going to be, let me find a different example. All right, here we go. So a change in the state is going to be a close between a big array of up close candles and then bearish movement out of that. So that would be like this. And that's why I say it's kind of the same thing. If I zoomed out to the 4-hour or the 5-hour, this would look just like an order block. So bam, there's a CISD. We kind of rejected at first. Bang, we close below it, indicating we want to move lower. So as you can see, before the change in the state, we have not once closed below a group of up close candles until that point, and then after that point we dropped. So bam, you have this order block that we formed while making it, and let's see, maybe in the future we reject it at some point. We rejected a little bit right here. So always good things to watch out for. I do not use order blocks on the high time frame that much. I'm looking more at imbalances, fair value gaps, but these are good to protect your stop. So what I mean by protecting your stop. First, let me find one more bullish example that actually gets respected. Perfect. There's one right here. I don't have to do anything. Bam, we have this little down move right here. What do we do from this point? We end up dropping back down and then closing inside the range and then reacting out of it, multiple times until we end up reacting out of something else and then dropping lower. So bang, there's another example. Where would your change in the state be? It could be right here. that would work, or it could be right here. Those are all valid things, because remember, the more you scale out, there will be more prominent order blocks. So, if I scaled in, I'm on the 1 hour right now. If I scaled in to the 15-minute, this would probably be like 2 or 3 candles moving to the downside, So we want to recognize that even though this is a 1 hour order block, that it's still a change in the state on something like the 15-minute. And, taking an entry off that would look something like this. Bang, you protect your stop with the order block, or all the way down here, with the order block, because you have that protecting price now. And then we end up putting in imbalances, and bang, you're pretty set. So, all right, let me find a couple more examples just to prove my point. Let's do some change in the state examples. All right, so what do? We have up close candles, right? We never end up closing below, right here, we do end up closing below this set of 2 bullish candles. Now, as you can see, we do end up forming an order block, and we also have the change in the state, CISD. Now, what do you notice? We never really close above the CISD, and we tap into the order block and then end up moving lower. And if you got a lower time frame entry, your stop would be pretty safe above this 1 hour order block, to take it lower all the way to your next draw liquidity. That would be an example of using that to your advantage. And obviously you can do this in all time frames. Let's go down to the 5-minute and see if we can get a low time frame entry using an order block. All right, so first we got to find somewhere we displace out of and then revisit. All right, perfect. I found a pretty good example. Now for these ones, it is a little different. So as you can see, we did react heavily on New York Open right here, but we also did leave this little tiny order block. Now, obviously, marking from the body doesn't really make sense here. You can't really see it. So when it's this small like this, when the body is this small, it still counts as an order block, but I want to mark out the whole thing so I can actually see it. And yes, we do come back down, sweep the liquidity here, react out of this, respecting the order block, and then we end up moving higher. Where would the change in the state here be? Now, if I was using off the 5-minute, it wouldn't be all the way until up here, or you could use this. And obviously, we revisit this point and react off of it. Now, remember that on the higher time frame, we do close this entire thing as an order block. It is really fractal. So that hold down move, if I scaled up large enough, would just be 1 candle down. So there you go. Now you have order blocks and CISDs. Honestly, they're not too important. I like to use CISDs just to find out when we are going to be moving higher, and use them kind of as an entry, something to look at. So, something like this, we react off of, bang, we move higher. It's that simple. Order blocks, order blocks, order blocks. All right, that should be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to sub, and I'll leave the Discord in the description if you want to join up and ask questions. And yeah, peace out.